Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Playing Games with Strangers. If you are only listening to this in podcast form, you are only getting half the story. This is episode 10, and we kind of early on decided if we hit episode 10, we were going to do it with cameras on. So I'm not sure what avenues this is going to be dispersed. I do want to put it out over the Geek Devotions Twitch stream. I want to put it on YouTube. I wanted to put it on Facebook. I want to put it on all mediums that we can put it on. But for specific links and locations, please check out the Facebook page for Playing Games with Strangers. I'm sure we'll have links by the time this actually posts. So I will be your fat and ugly DM for the evening. My name is John. I play Nick Foster on the randoms. My shirt. Well, most of us are repping what we do. And with us this evening, I will just go clockwise on my Skype screen. We have from Geek Devotions, Celeste, Mora.
Woohoo! Hello. And I also play Carrie, who John doesn't like.
I'm not saying she's a gold digger. And then in screen top right, we have Eric Compagno.
Why'd you say it that way?
Because that's the way they say it in Supersonic.
But that's not the way that it's pronounced. And
okay, for everybody out there,
you have
Eric
to write
Compagno.
Get Ben to write it in the script the way that I do when I sound it out. Like I
phonetically.
The way
that's how I got Nathan James Norman to say my name correctly.
He said it correctly. There is one episode that I'm in where he did say it correctly because I had sent a phonetic pronunciation, a phonetic spelling of it out, and I can't remember what episode it is. But then after that, it's gone back to Compagno, and it makes me sad. I'm Eric Compagno, and I am the Graham Walker in the randoms.
All right, and then in my bottom right screen, we have Fire Hands himself, Steve MacDonald, also from Strangers and Aliens fame. That's where I first heard his voice.
Yeah, Strangers and Aliens. We're about to celebrate our 10th anniversary this year.
Oh, God, you make me feel old.
You are old. So anyway, also I play Fire Hands plus a lot of other. You hear my voice, if you know my voice, and once you've heard it, you just can't unhear it.
Moving on with the introductions. I'm going to skip the quiet one for a second here, and I'm going to go to the guy who was just talking, J.S. Earls, writer of 2 of the Supersonic Pod comics, Super Force and Sumo Girl. So,
yes,
SF and SG.
Yeah, he's got stock in the letter S.
Yep.
So that's the reason why you'll never see it featured on Sesame Street, because he's not going to pay to bring that show to anybody.
And he's got 2 more coming up: Super Sumo and Force Girl, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, and Celeste is wearing her trademark red shirt.
I am.
I'm just saying, for the new stuff that's coming out soon, I haven't been tapped to do any of the voices, so I'm taking that as a hint. So throwing that out there.
And well, you should.
Wow.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm just gonna have you guys walk around in the cave for a little bit. We know
who the favorites are, and
make
John
some
and
dex
I are
checks
not among them.
And then finally, the one that I've been holding for the end because he deserves special accreditation. We have Josiah Crandall, who plays Mr. Matrix in Supersonic Pod comics, as well as one of the Petra people. But also, most recently, we can introduce him as award-winning filmmaker.
I did win an award.
Ooh.
So, yay.
Oh.
So, thank you.
And as we determined prior to beginning recording this evening, he is also the person who is doing the editing for tonight's episode.
Good luck.
So throw that out there.
So if it's awful, yeah.
I'll keep praying for you.
Yeah, thank you.
A little fun a little fun before we get into tonight's game. I know we've been recording for almost 10 minutes now, but if you're watching, you're going to be able to see a neat phenomenon because we are in 3 different time zones from each other, all communicating over the wonder of the internet. So you will legitimately see the sun in different phases in our backgrounds if anybody has any natural light going on in their room.
It's already set.
I'm in the basement. I have no windows. I'm in a dungeon.
Well, as you just heard Steve say, it's already set there. Eric and I are in the West Coast, and Celeste and Josiah are Central Time, and I can see that big old window in Josiah's background, so he's still got some daylight going.
I have a window back there, but the window being open when it gets dark creeps me out, so I keep it closed.
I was going to say something, but the problem is that I know you're afraid of certain things now, so I'm just not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be that guy. Although, what happens in the game, I can't make any promises.
It's what happens in the game is in the game.
So, with that being said, let's go into tonight's episode of Playing Games with Strangers. That was dumb.
They can fix it in post. Do you want to do another take?
Yeah,
no, we'll stick with it. Josiah can throw some echo on there.
I can throw some. I can.
It sounded like I certainly can. Don't know that I will.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
All right. So picking up where we left off, who wants to do the recap? JS Earls, why don't you do the recap for the last episode?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I can read it off my phone here.
No, that's not necessary.
He's really good at those.
And then
he wasn't here for the last episode. That was the joke. Eric, do you remember what happened last episode?
I think so. We found the loom of time.
Yes,
last
you did.
episode.
And we got some of the fruit of that loom.
Yeah. Did we start off with a fight? I think we started off with a fight.
You did start off with a fight with some demons.
We fought a Glabrazu. I don't know how to say that word. A Glabrazu, and
I
a
think
couple
it's
of
Glabrazu.
Sure,
You
that
said
thing. And 2 dretches, and we beat them.
4.
Well,
no, there was 3 dretches.
Maybe there was 3 left. We'd already killed one anyway. And we beat them. We beat those demons, and then we went into the castle and we investigated the ruins of the castle, and we found a room full of a bunch of burned dead people.
Crispy bodies by the door.
It's like deja vu.
And then we found a secret door that led to a secret room, and in that secret room there were 3 women with that triggered Celeste.
I am offended that you completely passed over the test of 100 arrows.
Oh, that was before, wasn't it? I forgot. I'm staring at the test of 100 arrows. Yeah, we had to solve the puzzle, the test of 100 arrows, where we had to get through your arrow maze, and then we found the secret room with the fates in it, where we found the loom of time and the shuttle of time. And we recovered those items and then began to make our way back to Daggerford. Daggerford? Did we go back to Daggerford?
You didn't go back to anywhere. You guys camped out in the woods.
Oh, that's right.
Where Pough had a dream, or not a dream, but he fell asleep remembering what he saw when he made contact with the fabric of reality.
That's right. Yeah, we didn't go. I think we were headed back to Daggerford, but I don't think we've gotten there yet.
Nope.
So that's what I remember. I didn't take any notes. I'm just going off of pure brain right now, and it's going swimmingly.
Hey, you know that you did all right. The only 2 things that you forgot was the test of 100 arrows, and then the note from Damien Mephistopheles.
Oh yeah, the super cryptic note that wasn't very cryptic.
Yeah, it was sort of.
That some people in the party were very suspicious of.
So that being said, let's go ahead and dip back into our game. For those of you who are watching the video feed, I will say that people are popping up a whole bunch of stuff on the screen. It's catching me off guard.
I didn't know I could do that. I didn't mean to do that.
I will say that unfortunately I could share my screen with you for Roll20, but I have a feeling it would block out all the faces that we have here if I were to. And also I'm not sure which of my maps are copyrighted.
Oh.
So to err on the safe side, you're still gonna have to use your imagination for that. But hey, at least you can see what all the rest of us look like.
Right.
Breaking that fourth wall,
Lucky
one step at a
you.
time. Maybe next time we do this, for whatever episode that's going to be, we'll come up with a better solution for that. But in the meantime, so you guys find yourselves camped out in the woods outside of the Shining Lady Citadel. And we'll just say that you guys passed through the night. No events or any encounters that happened overnight. Because like I said, as you approach the Citadel, you notice that sounds kind of tapered off. You didn't hear any wildlife or the sound of anything really living as you came up towards that place. Before I forget, there was one thing in the recap that I wanted to keep at the forefront of everybody's minds. There was a note that was found in the throne room where all the crispy bodies were at, which was a message that someone had written in their own blood that got baked into the floor that had stated, and I looked in my notes from last week as they were written in our Roll20 dialogue, but it says, One was the traitor. So that's a thing.
Oni.
Okay, so it's Oni. I wasn't sure if it was Oni or One. It's spelled.
You pronounced it Oni last time.
It's spelled Oney for those of you who are at home. So that being said, you wake up. You guys wake up in the morning, and what you guys do is your choice. Let me go ahead and pull up the world map for you guys.
And excuse me, am I supposed to be here?
Yes, you are with them. So
they're just carrying my dead body.
No,
you did not die.
You did not die. You just kind of zombied behind them and didn't do a whole lot. Actually, during the demon fight, you cowered underneath the corpse of one of the smaller demons. I forgot the name of.
I think he did cast one spell.
He did cast one spell. That is correct.
Yeah. And we appreciated your help, even though you weren't here.
Yes.
All right. Well, if we have a full rest under our belts, then I'm going to refresh my spell slots and my hit points.
Yeah, can we have healed ourselves and such?
Oh, that's what a long rest will do. It refills your hit points and your spell slots. So the smites that you did, you can restore those spell slots.
Good. Because I mean, I guess if people have been listening, I don't play this as much as probably some other people. In fact, I was putting like all my books away. I have new bookshelves and stuff like that, and I found one of the rule books, and I've been like going through it, trying to like get a better handle on it. And I'm like, this might be the wrong one. I mean, we haven't faced any brigands. There's no bazaar. I mean, it's like there's a lot of rules in here, but there's nothing, no buttons to push. I don't know, but I'm trying to get better, guys. I really am.
This is the one you want.
Okay.
That's
a little thicker.
A little bit.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Never happen again.
Maybe I'll send you one for your birthday, Steve.
Yeah, maybe. I think my son has them, but.
So yeah, long rest.
All right. So it's morning time, correct?
Correct. You have awoken and
have a channel divinity, so that gets restored.
Yeah. So I I wake up and I kind of look around at everyone, and I go to scratch my head. As I wake up, and I realize that I still have this big needle. And then I take it and I sit down and I look at it, and then I think, oh bother. And I look around at everyone and I say, everyone, I think perhaps maybe I should continue on alone. Oh no. 1 second.
Why would you say that, friend Pough?
Clearly you've not had enough coffee this morning.
Well, it would seem that while I was dreaming about other things I saw, and the message that I got from those nice old ladies, that perhaps this is all my fault. And it would, I think, thinking back, none of you would be in any of this trouble if it wasn't for me, to begin with.
I think you underestimate my ability to get myself in trouble.
Pough, let me ask you a question. Do you consider these people here your friends?
Well, I mean, we met each other not too long ago, but we've been through a lot together.
Right. So, yes or no, are they your friends?
Yes, I would say that they are my friends.
Okay, and what about you all? Do you all consider Pough your friend?
Well, I'd like to think so.
Of course we do.
Give me a moment.
Sounds like Orbog's undecided, but you have at least 2 friends here, Pough.
Well, 2 friends, yes. That's good. But
that is good. I think you're too hard on yourself, lad. I think that maybe you should be willing to accept the help of others. And in your friends here, I mean, it sounds like they went to, they've gone through a lot with you already. And I don't think that anyone here is ready to just toss you aside because of a wee bit of trouble. We've all experienced trouble. It's the way of the world.
But even one of my closest friends, Christopher, I was not able to find or save him, and now look at him. I don't want any of you to turn out like Christopher or like a Callum locked away in who knows where.
Oh, Pough, you cannot be taking onto yourself the actions of others. We're all responsible for ourselves.
Yes, but what the ladies said, the blind ladies, they said that it was my fault, that I must pay for my failure. Anyway, that's how I understood it.
Well, do you remember exactly what they were saying to you now?
Yes, I do.
Word for word?
Word for word. They said, a wrong to be righted, a fate has been cast, a punishment due, this too must pass.
That doesn't mean that you're the one that needs to be paying for it.
Someone has to pay for it. And I think I failed them.
I think you're being hasty to throw away the help of a group of folks who, well, they want to see what's best for you happen. No one here's blaming you for the actions of other people. That's crazy.
If I might say something unexpectedly nice, I have made similar mistakes to you, Pough. And I do consider you a friend, although I do enjoy teasing you. But one of the things that I have learned is to appreciate those who are around me now, and not those who are not with me or who have chosen not to be with me. So you should accept our help and let us carry this burden with you.
Orbog, those were very touching words, and I thank you all for standing with me during this. Well, if there was a wrong, or maybe now, if you're saying that you'll do it with me, we can right it.
I think that sounds like a fine plan.
First off, how do I get rid of this?
I think we just pull it out. Just pull it out. No.
Oh, and secondly, I'm a bit hungry. Did anyone bring any food with them?
Would you like some coffee?
Oh, never touch the stuff.
Well, when we pull that out, you'll have a blood pop.
Gross. That sounds disgusting.
That sounds awful. Yeah, not gonna lie, that's disgusting. Gross.
That must be yes.
Is that an Orcish delicacy or something?
Oh, no. You're right. Blood pudding is so much better.
I'd like to say goodbye to all our British viewers.
Right. Well, here's what I've been doing. I've been away from Waterdeep for too long. We best be getting back. We've got some troubles to solve, and we're not going to do it sitting around in the forest, waxing poetic about the fate of the world, or at least the fate of Pough.
Well, let's hop to it. I'm invigorated. Let's get some breakfast. I remembered that my tummy is hungry.
Well, knowing that we were going to be traveling, we did prepare provisions at least.
You did. I recall that you were supplied with several cured meats,
right,
and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. I ate all mine.
You can have one of mine, Pooh.
Oh, thank you.
So what I'm understanding is Pough doesn't understand the concept of rations.
Oh,
no.
What are rations?
Right. So what you do is you dedicate a certain amount of food that you're going to eat every day, and you don't eat it all at once.
The food that I dedicate to eating in a day is the food that I have.
Right. Not one for planning. Okay.
Living in the moment.
That's right. And at this moment, we should be marching forward and trying to figure out how to get rid of this. It makes pointing hard.
Oh, does it make it easier? Because it is rather pointy.
Oh, you mean using this? Oh, look at that.
I start pointing at things with my...
Okay, what do you point at?
I point at the tree right in front of me right now.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this, Josiah.
Yeah.
What's Pough thinking about when he points at the tree?
What's he thinking about? Well, he's probably thinking as he's pointing at that tree that would be a nice tree to find some honey in.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you point at this tree, it cracks in half, and you notice a yellow fluid start gushing out of it.
Oh, look at that.
And I try to clap my hands, but it doesn't quite work.
And as you clap your hands together, the two parts of the tree seal back together.
Bother.
Well, that's fascinating.
Did anybody else see that?
And I point to the tree again.
And it splits again.
Oh, can someone go grab that for me? I'm just going to stay there like this.
I'm just standing as still as I can, pointing at the tree.
Stumblefoot is shocked and confused.
I think this might be more handy than we think.
I'm intrigued as to how you are doing that.
I don't know, but could someone get the honey?
Well, do you have a jar or something we can put it in?
Oh, yeah, I have several empty jars.
Well, where are they? Without pointing with the other hand.
They're in my pack.
Well, I can't reach up that high, so somebody else is gonna have to grab that.
I'll help grab a jar or two and toss them over to whoever's nearest the tree.
I can do it.
Thank you, Orbog. Your assistance is invaluable.
Not to be a buzzkill or anything, but how much time are we going to spend collecting honey? We have pressing business, freeing an entire city of people currently enslaved by the devil.
But look, I can do this.
And then I point at a rock nearby.
Oddly, nothing happens.
Does the tree doesn't close on my arm or anything?
No.
That's good.
Well, I thought I could do that. Orbog, stand still for a second.
Don't point at me.
Aelin?
I'd rather you not point at me. How
Why
about
don't we just scoop some honey and let's get moving?
All right. And the next person that we see that I don't know, I'll point at.
Or
how about we not turn people into honey? Let's not do that. That's a bad idea.
You're right. That could be a very sticky situation.
Indeed.
Could be helpful, though.
The next bad guy that we find, I'll point it at.
That's much more useful.
All right. Let's get on our way.
And I take a jar of honey. Yeah. And start walking a direction. I'll start walking east.
Pooh dear, perhaps we should close that tree back up.
Okay.
And the tree closes back up as you close your hands together.
Oh, look at that. I'm getting the hang of it.
I'm not sure what you're getting the hang of, but you surely are getting the hang of it.
Pough, friend, we do not want to be going east.
Which way's east?
The way you're headed.
Which way do we want to be going?
Not east. We want to head back to Diggerford.
All right.
And so I turn south. Start walking that way.
How's about you just follow the rest of us instead of striking out on your own?
Oh, okay. I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. And Stumblefoot's going to start walking back in the direction of Diggerford.
Well, that's the direction I should have gone.
Stumblefoot has no chill.
All right, so as you guys are making your way through the forest, all of a sudden you hear a rustling in the trees around you. The reason I'm going theater of the mind is because I'm shooting from the hip at the moment.
Ooh, I can do wrestling.
Ooh, we got Foley work.
Do you hear that? It sounds like rustling.
It was a crow. A rustle crow.
Sounded more like a candy bar. Who has candy bars and who's been holding out on me?
So you guys find yourselves surrounded by 5 humans.
Does anyone else see them?
Aye, they're all around us.
Okay.
How far away are they from us?
They're probably about 15 feet. They're kind of in a circle around you.
Pough, don't point at anyone. It's rude, okay?
Wow. I'm thinking maybe he could point at one of these fellows.
Let's wait to see how rude they are.
Hello, good sir. Why have you surrounded us?
And then the one that seems to be the leader that has a bright orange headband on looks at, oh, you see what we got here, boys? We got ourselves a bugbear. Oh, they fetch a mighty right price up in Waterdeep.
It's only 75 gold.
Oh, dear. Did you take your hat off?
They've gotten a much rarer species up there about now. You go for a lot more these days.
And I put on my hat, and then I think of just a normal human, and then I go,
a bugbear? I don't know of any bugbear around here. What bugbear?
Another one of them goes, oh, did you see that? Oh, he changed shape when he put on that hat. Oh, I bet that hat would go for a pretty penny.
Well, that's what he normally looks like. He's a human. He was pretending to be a bugbear.
Yes, this hat.
Right, well, pull up your hands and just fuck over your goods and let us take the bugbear off your hands, and we'll let you go on your merry then, all right?
Pough, you can point. It's time to split.
Right. Okay. I am putting up my hands.
And I point at the guy in the orange bandana, I guess.
All right, Josiah, out of character, I'm going to teach you something that, you've probably heard people say in high school.
Uh-huh.
Only the first time's free, my friend. I need you to roll a D100.
Uh-huh. 90.
All right. That you get a feeling that the next person who casts a spell is going to do something ridiculous. You're not sure what, but you know that you just channeled a bit of arcane force into the area that's going to amplify whatever happens next on an arcane level.
It's kind of tingly out here.
And with that, let me pull up the initiative tracker here. I'd like everybody to
initiate.
Okay, Orbog, what did you get?
4.
Gheroth, what did you get?
Fantastic 4.
A number 11.
All right. Stumblefoot, you are up first. You have 3 kind of samey looking bandits and one that's got a orange and black bandana on. Which one would you like to attack? I'd say you're all pretty much within a brawling distance of each other at the moment.
Are they all spread far apart?
Not that far apart, but they are encircling you, so it's not like you got a line of them waiting for a lightning bolt or anything.
If I moved in between 2 of them, would I be able to engage 2 at the same time? Or are they too far apart for that?
I'll say you probably could engage them both. Sure.
Okay. Then I'm going to move in between, kind of like I am on the screen. So not the leader, but I'll move over towards kind of 2 of the underlings. And I'll move closer to one, but kind of, close enough to attack one, but position myself so that I can kind of maybe grab the attention of 2 at the same time to try and maybe take the threat off of some of the other people in the group. And then I will attack. Why is it that I roll huge for initiative? My dice do not like me. And then I rolled a hit and I rolled like garbage. So I rolled an 11, which I'm pretty sure it doesn't hit.
No, that does not hit. He says with a surprised tone in his voice.
Yeah. Ooh.
So
hand.
You go to take a kick at this bandit, or are you using a weapon? Are you going monk style or?
I'm going monk style. Yeah,
okay.
I did not draw a weapon.
All right, so you go to take a kick at this bandit, and he just kind of matrixes his head back, and your foot sails by. He gets a whiff of your athlete's foot.
Okay, then I'm going to bonus action do the thing.
So descriptive.
When I get my 2 extra attacks, that thing.
Flurry of blows?
Yes, flurry of blows. Thank you. I was drawing a blank. What a bonus action, flurry of blows. So I'll make 2 more attacks. There we go. Now we're cooking with grease. Yeah, 23 and 25 to hit.
Both of them hit. So I'm assuming 1 on each?
No, I'm just going to focus my attacks on... Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll hit one guy and then the other. So I'll spread out.
Roll your first damage.
Okay. First damage is 7 points of bludgeoning damage. And the second one is 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right. So, yeah, the first guy you hit, he's bleeding from the ear from the solid kick that you landed on him. What you actually did, you did kind of a spinning roundhouse. So you brought your foot up through this guy's face and you brought it back down on the guy behind you. So you kind of did,
So I got him with a Walker Texas Ranger.
Yeah, and got it. And the guy that took the brunt of it, the first guy, he's bleeding from the ears now, and he's looking a little bit dazed. The other guy's looks fairly hurt too, but not as bad.
Did you know that when Walker Texas Ranger premiered in France, the French surrendered to Chuck Norris?
Oh, jeez. Did you know Chuck Norris is the only man to ever beat a man to death with his own corpse? All right, Aelin, it is your turn.
I'm going to stealth behind where I am on the map, stealth behind the guy that's right behind me. And that is a 12.
All right,
Can I get away with that?
I have to roll because they actually have perceptions of their own. Okay, you think you're stealthing behind him, but you are watching as his eyes are following you, and he turns and kind of looks at you as you're trying to get around him.
Okay, gonna whack him with my hammer.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack roll.
There we go. 22.
A 22 will hit.
3.
All right. So you get tired of trying to stealth behind this guy as he turns and looks at you just with a confused look on your face. You pull out a hammer and you smack him in the knee real hard.
And he's dead.
No. But he's like, ow! That was my knee! Any bonus actions?
I don't think I have any.
Well, if you want to inspire anybody, that is a bonus action.
Oh, that's true.
Is that magical?
Not in the context of what... Actually, no. Yes, I will say if she decides to inspire, I will treat it as as Arcana.
Going to go no on that one.
Okay.
Metagame.
I wasn't planning on doing it anyway.
Sure you weren't.
All right, Pough, it is your turn.
All right, first off, I would like to rage.
Of course you would. Raging with a needle in hand.
Oh, yes.
And then I take my great axe in my hand yeah.
I was about to say, that's a two-handed weapon, sir.
I take my hand axe and I'll go ahead and attack the main guy, the orange guy.
All right, the captain.
Mm-hmm. Woo. Does a 19 hit?
A 19 does hit.
Great. And this is just with my hand axe, so fortunately that's a D6. So that's 8 damage on that.
So he reaches up to block, but it just glances off, and you lodge it in his forearm. So,
and then I'm going to take my other hand that has the needle in it and come down for his neck area with it.
Okay, we're going to treat that like a dagger.
Yeah. So just like a D6 or a D4.
It's going to be a D4.
Yeah.
Just sounds like a needleless attack.
Okay.
Needleless attack.
Ooh.
Is this thing on?
We heard you.
Is this thing on?
11.
Hello?
11 to hit?
Yeah.
That actually is going to miss.
Yeah.
Just because we didn't laugh doesn't mean we didn't get it.
You see, because it's a needle, and
yeah.
And a Steve stack.
All right, so now we have the bandit's turn. Oh, wait, no, it's Gheroth's turn. Derp-a-derp. Gheroth.
No, I'm joining the bandits. Forget it.
No, it's Smokey's turn.
Had enough of this righteous paladin nonsense.
I cut the needle off of his hand. All right, I have my axe and shield out, and I will. Can I talk to the guy and wait for my action? Do more of a defensive action.
If you want to.
That's what I'm going to do.
All right.
And I say to him, "You have a choice. You can fare as well as the others, or you can be the survivor that tells us what we need to know."
Okay, go ahead and roll an intimidation check on that.
Ooh, a 9.
All right.
He's shaking in his boots.
Yeah.
What do I roll? That's going to probably be a will.
Maybe just one boot.
He looks at you and he's like, "You are clearly outclassed in this fight."
How much damage does my battle axe do if I hit them with the flat of it?
Same amount. We would just consider it as non-lethal.
Okay. That's what I'm going to do.
All right. So go ahead and roll that. Oh, 21 is definitely going to hit.
There we go. 12.
There we go. 12. Yeah. So that's so unlike everybody else, you drove this guy completely down with that strike. He is laying unconscious on the forest floor, also with blood pouring out his ears because you hit him hard.
Okay.
So he is unconscious.
All right.
Any movement movement doesn't really matter because we're going theater of the mind. Any bonus actions?
No, I'll just take a bonus action just to make sure that I'm aware of my surroundings and no one's coming up behind me or anything like that.
Okay.
Is there a perception or I don't know?
That would be doing something like that would be considered an action. So, not really.
Can't. Okay. Well, I'll just keep an eye open. That's my turn.
All right. Now it's the bandits. Because there's only 3 who are currently left standing of the regular bandits.
The regulars. Okay. So there's more than. Okay. Never mind.
So Stumblefoot, does an 11 hit you?
Nope.
Does a 21 hit you?
You know a 21 hits me.
I'm just saying. You ask me ridiculous questions like that too. You take 4 points of slashing damage as the one that was standing behind you that took the lesser amount of damage comes up and slices down your back with his scimitar.
'Tis but a scratch.
Aelin, does a 18 hit you?
Oh, yes.
You take 4 points of slashing damage as he swings down and just tries to golf at you with his scimitar.
Oof.
And you catch it across the arm.
Ow. That must have hurt.
And now it is the bandit captain's... Merely a flesh wound. Now it's the bandit captain's turn. So Okay, so Pough, does a 24 hit you?
Just barely.
Okay. You take 8 points of slashing damage.
Oh.
Does a 8 hit you?
No, an 8 does not.
Okay. And then does...
Actually, it does slashing damage.
Yep, so it gets halved because you're raging. Does a 18 hit you?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, what is this fellow doing?
He gets 3 attacks.
Good, I'm glad I'm right next to him.
You're the one who puts yourself there. So, being as he missed the second time with the scimitar, he pulls a dagger out and stabs you in the gut with it.
Oh.
You take 7 points of piercing damage, reduced to, we'll say, 4 points because you are raging. He goes, "Ha! Looks like I was poking the bear then."
That's not funny. It hurt.
It's kind of funny.
Almost as funny as Steve's joke earlier.
That was funny. Come on.
Who's Steve?
He's
not for knowing a Steve.
Oh, you don't hear Steve? That's just me.
Pough was reverting to a couple episodes in the very beginning when for some reason he could hear me.
Okay, Orbog, it is your turn.
I am going to come to Pough's aid. And I'm going to say, friends are friends forever.
And if the Lord's the Lord of them.
That would be the Steve. It's Steven.
It's a what?
That didn't a Steven sing that song?
No.
And Michael W. Smith sang that song.
Oh,
Stephen
they
Curtis
sounded
Chapman.
alike. Stephen Curtis Chapman and Michael W. Smith sounded alike.
Saddle up your horse.
I was just going to reference that. We got a trail to blaze. Whoa! Let's follow our leader into God's amazing grace.
Yeah, everybody sing it.
Okay.
I only know the mortification version.
What was that, Orbog? I know we just stepped all over your term. I do apologize. When someone references the Great Adventure, it's like singing "Come Sail Away" by Styx. It's just something you got to go with.
I'm gonna do a two-handed longsword.
All right.
At this guy. I rolled a 15.
Yeah, that's definitely going to hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
4 plus 4, 8.
8 points of damage.
And I'm going to attack him again. That would be 17.
That hits.
Oh, yes. And I rolled a 7 plus 4, 11.
Okay, Pough, so Orbog, who had been teasing you earlier today, comes up to you and he's like, "Our friends for friends forever." And then he just starts to wreck this bandit captain that's in front of you.
Oh, Orbog, the way that you did that was very nice. Thank you for being there for me.
You're welcome.
I'll be there for you. I see what you did there, Josiah. Stumblefoot, it is your turn.
All right. I'm going to look at these two bandits I'm fighting. And I'm going to glance over at the leader and I'm going to say, "I've no desire to hurt you any more than we already have. Do you yield? Your boss over there, he's not looking so great. And my boyo behind me there, pretty sure he already knocked your friend down. Do you yield?"
Go ahead and roll a... There's elements of persuasion and... Intimidation on this. I'll let you choose which one you want to roll here.
Well, they're equally not great, so I'll choose intimidation.
All right.
Pertimidation.
Yeah. Persuasion.
I should have used persuasion last time.
I rolled a 12.
Well, he rolled a 2. So, which one were you talking to? The one that's closest to you?
I'm talking to the two that are closest to me. I'm trying to I'm kind of I think Steve and I were kind of the same mind. I was going to do this anyway, but based on kind of our religious beliefs, it behooves us not to kill these guys. So
okay.
Defending ourselves is one thing, but I want to offer them a chance to escape with their lives.
Yeah, sentient human beings.
I just had the dumbest idea, and I'm still going to do this. So, okay. So,
the last time you said that, we got the keeper.
So, the one looks at the other and goes, "Did you hear that, Samwise? They're right." And the other one looks back and goes, "Yes, Master Frodo. Boromir looks like he's down for the count. We need to get out of here." And they start to run off into the woods.
The one where we get sued, number 2.
Tolkien's dead, sir. If I can get sued by a corpse, I want to see that.
His estate is alive and well.
Yes, it is.
His name is John Harju. He lives in...
very far away from all of us. So don't come looking for us.
Smite him.
I live fairly near Eric, so I'm just saying.
Run, Eric! Save yourself!
So it took 2 people off the map. So good job with that, Stumblefoot. Do you have any bonus actions or movement?
I have movement. So I will move over here to the leader. And I will bonus action patient defense, and I'll raise my eyebrows at him and say, "Your crew's getting smaller. You should probably leave."
He looks back at you and he's just like, "That just means I'm turning into Orbog here. Well, I gotta find my voice again."
Well, that
very
just means
aggressive, Orbog.
Well, that just means there's gonna be more booty for me.
Not if we kick your booty.
Aelin, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm going to acrobatically jump up on top of the guy and whack him with the hammer again.
Stop.
Knock some sense into him.
So does a 16 get me at least like standing on him in some way, shape, or form?
Here's what happens, Aelin. You ever seen a cat climb up someone's clothes?
Yes.
You do this to the 6-foot bandit. You just climb up his clothes and you end up just real quickly too, and you end up on his shoulders. Go ahead and roll your hammer.
16.
Actually, I'm gonna give you advantage. So the 21. So go ahead and roll damage.
1.
Sad. I'm gonna let you re-roll that because that was too cool of a maneuver to.
I'm gonna really roll it.
Yeah, that'd probably be best.
Yeah.
I've never 2 nat 1s in a row, dude. Seriously.
That's roll 20 for you.
Nah.
The dice algorithms are jacked in this thing, man. They're not good.
Well, apparently my dice hate me as well, too.
Yeah, but you got a +4 on that, so that's actually 6. Yeah, you smacked him on the dome, and as you do that, you watch. He gets a bloody nose. Like you smacked him on the head so hard that he has a bloody nose, and he is not looking great. All right, nobody's done any magic, so I feel like this wild magic thing has not gone well.
I can't do any magic. What if I use my thing again?
Well, Pough, it is actually your turn right now.
All right.
Do some magic.
I'm going to try.
Is this your card?
So I tried to pull the axe that I got into this guy's arm.
Uh-huh.
Is it still... I mean, can I get it out of there easily?
Yeah, you pull it out with a resounding...
Okay, good.
Ew.
And then I I will go ahead and try to. I'm gonna look at him, and I'm gonna point my needle at him. I said,
"Don't make me."
Well, I'm gonna wave it around.
Don't make me point this thing at you.
And then you pointed it at him?
Yeah, I pointed at him.
Roll the D100. I literally gave a nuclear bomb to a 6-year-old.
That would be a 91.
91.
Everything explodes.
Okay. So with that 91, all of a sudden your hand starts to tingle and you regained 4 hit points.
Great. Thank you. That didn't do what I thought it was going to do.
And then I take my axe and I just hit him upside the head with it.
Okay.
And there's more where that came from.
Go ahead and roll your attack for your axe.
24.
That's going to hit.
8 damage.
Actually, Josiah.
Yeah.
Go ahead and add another 4 points of healing to yourself as well.
Okay. Oh, because
it doubles because of the previous one. I forgot about that.
Well, look at that.
You're back up to full. All right, Gheroth, it is your turn.
So, who's still up and moving?
You have this guy here, the one that Aelin is smacking around, and then you have the captain that is getting ganged up on.
Teamed?
Yep.
Okay. How well does the one up here look? Does he look like he's on his last legs? Or
I'm punching my microphone stand. He's looking rough. Like he is bleeding he's bleeding about the eyes, nose, and mouth area.
Okay.
Aelin's kind of laid into him a bit.
Right. I will head up to his general vicinity and give him a little talking to.
Drop your weapons now!
That's gonna hurt his ears.
Go ahead and roll
weapons?
that intimidation check.
Can that be a persuasion?
No, the way you presented that was definitely a intimidation.
Wait.
Drop your weapons, please!
I dropped mine too.
I recommend you drop your weapons.
If I drop my weapon, can it hit him on the top of the head?
There you go. That's
Aelin really wants a kill.
No, I don't. I'm just enjoying the acrobatics.
Aelin, the bloodthirsty bard.
I rolled a 12.
You actually, because he rolled a 4. But he actually looks a little bit like he didn't understand you. He's kind of staggering around, but the weapon, his scimitar just kind of falls into the ground, and it sticks into the ground. And he's just like,
I may have hit him a bit too hard.
Is that your turn, Gheroth? Because you have an action still, or if you don't want to do your action, you don't have to.
Can I grab him in a way that's going to sort of like a grapple?
Yeah, you can grapple. That's going to be a strength check.
Pile driver.
19. It's just to hold him.
Right,
19.
but that's how grapples work. You put him in. You kind of grapple him into a position of subdual. So you got that going for you.
All right.
Which he is currently grappled and dazed, and you pass that check on him, so he's gonna not do anything on his turn. However, that bandit captain, he's pretty stubborn. With Stumblefoot there, actually, I'm going to roll to see who catches this. All right. Orbog, does an 8 hit you?
No.
I'm assuming that a 22 does, though.
Possibly.
Glancing blow.
So the captain turns around and slashes across your exposed facial area and does 7 points of slashing damage on you.
I block it with my teeth.
No, you don't. And then he pulls out a dagger, and that's definitely going to hit. And finds the soft spot in your underarm and jabs that dagger into your armpit for another 6 points of piercing damage.
Ooh. Ow. That's not nice.
And he goes, "Give me what we want, and, this doesn't have to continue."
No one touches my bits.
And Orbog, it is actually your turn now.
Ho, 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 ho.
Great, the Green Giant's with us.
Yeah. I'm gonna attack him again with the two hands. And I am trying to do non-lethal though, since I'm taking a note from the way that the other people have been dealing with things around, and I'm trying to remember that I'm a paladin.
Submitting to the peer pressure.
But I really want to. I really want to knock him out a little bit.
One of us.
Gobble gobble. We accept you. We accept you. One of us.
I'll see. I rolled a 12 plus 4. 16.
16. Yep, that hits.
For Heimdall, Josiah.
I wasn't given the gift of interpretation. You're gonna have to tell me what you just said there.
He said Heimdall.
Josiah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You gotta blur it all together. Otherwise, you get sued again.
So I have 7 plus. Oh yeah, I was raging. No, I'm just joking.
You don't rage, bro.
11.
I mean, he could rage. It just wouldn't necessarily do anything for him.
Right. So you make. I didn't hear how you attacked him. Were you using your sword or not?
Yes, two-handed.
All right, and you hit him with the flat or the actual blade.
I'll say with the hilt of it.
All right, so Pough, you see Orbog swing up with the hilt of his sword and crack this guy right in the nose, and you hear an audible crunch as blood begins to gout from his nostrils, as he has visibly had his nose broken.
A nice one, Orbog.
Wait, I'm still attacking. I'm a paladin. I get 2.
You get 2? All right. Let's go with the second attack.
Does an 11 hit?
It does not.
I was trying to slap him with the flat side that time.
With the flat side?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you bring it around like a cricket bat, he brings his scimitar up and just kind of blocks it with his own blade. He's like, "You'll not be doing that again." Stumblefoot, your turn.
Okay, I'm going to look at him and say, "Last chance. Do you yield?"
Are you trying to convince him to, or are you just throwing it out there?
I'm trying to convince him to.
Throw the persuasion.
All right. Ha! Well, that's a natural 1.
I'm not even going to roll this.
Which brings my score to 2.
He just starts laughing at you. Because how this happened was you looked at him, you're like, last chance. Do you yield or not? Except you got a little bit of a snot bubble hanging out your nose as you say that. And he just starts laughing at you.
All right. Well, then I guess I'm going to hit him, and then I'm going to hit him again and again.
Fling the snot on him.
Oh, are you doing a flurry of blows?
Yeah, I'm going to punch him. I mean, I got to hit him. I got to have to attack first.
All right.
I can flurry of blows. That'll be a 23 to hit.
Just barely. Just slightly.
Just barely hits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a fury of snot.
So that first attack, max damage. That does 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oofa doofa. All right. You definitely rung his bell on that, but he's still standing.
I got a dirty 20 and a 22 to hit on my extra 2 attacks.
Both hit.
Surprisingly. So that would be 12 points of bludgeoning damage. 12 more points.
Okay. In order to avoid trademark infringement, how would you like this to be done?
Man, so just like Lil Mac, because I'm a dwarf, so I'm a little bit shorter than this guy. So, I flash brightly a couple times, and then I do kind of that little jumping uppercut that Little Mac does in Punch Out, and he can fall to the ground however he wants. I'm sure at least one tooth gets knocked out of his mouth.
All right. So what you guys see, Gheroth is just rocking this dude's face. So you can tell, not Gheroth, I'm sorry. Stumblefoot's just rocking this dude's face. And
bye-bye.
You can tell that he is getting frustrated. And then finally you watch him kind of crouch down and do this double crouch thing. And he jumps up with this uppercut. And you hear this as he goes up to hit him. And catches him under the chin. And his mouth clenches together. You watch as his front 2 teeth chip and break. Because his mouth gets slammed shut so hard. And he just flies backwards. And you hear this. And it's like he's flying backwards in slow motion. And then he bounces off the ground, and you hear a KO.
I'm gonna kind of give him one of these, dust off my hands and say, "Well, that takes care of that. I think we need to be on our way."
And I try to dust off my hands too.
Okay, I need you to roll a D100, please.
Yes, sir.
Oh God.
This is like when I gave the deck of many things to Ethan, Eric. This is just a bad idea.
85.
Yeah. Okay. So those of you who are watching this happen, as Pough claps his hands, suddenly he blinks out of existence.
Oh.
And he reappears over here by Gheroth. And then he blinks out of existence. And then he appears over here by himself. And he keeps blinking in and out of existence around you for the next minute. And then it stops again.
Whoa.
Aelin, use your hammer. You gotta hit him on the head.
Oh, you all were jumping around from here to there and everywhere.
It's whack-a-poo.
That is a game I would not play.
Good job, everyone. I think I should probably try not to do anything with this.
And I wave it around.
Yeah, I'm not doing this all night, dude.
No, that wasn't for you to do.
I think that may be wise.
He waves it around just enough so nothing happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there we go.
Me thinks the DM should be careful who he gives potentially extremely powerful magic items that do random things to. Just saying.
You were about to call it game breaking, weren't you?
No, it's not game breaking. I have a feeling I know what it's modeled after.
And then a mouse comes out of the woods and pulls the needle out of his hand.
That's hilarious.
All right. I believe we were on our way to somewhere. Did we want to talk to these people at all, or should we just leave them scattered around?
Well, that one over there is pretty much incoherent.
The one I hit, I think we should question him.
Right. Well, let's tie him up.
Yes.
So who's going to tie him up?
Not Pough.
I've got this.
No, dear. Maybe you should just sit down.
Stumblefoot will tie him up.
Yes,
Okay.
I think I will sit down for a little bit.
So as you tie him up and then tie the knot on the rope, I would like you to make a survival check for that knot, please.
Okay. Oh, well, this will be interesting. Survival. I rolled a 6.
Okay. So you tie him up, and you guys are going to be questioning the one who you knocked out, Steve.
Yeah.
Okay. So he starts to come to after a little while. He's like, "What's this then?"
Where are you from?
"Oh, I'm from the woods. That's where I live."
And why do you pick on strangers like us?
"Oh, well, that's how we make a little scratch on the side. You know, you got to feed yourself."
Where is your family?
"Oh, I don't got no family. My family's traded me in to slavery when I was a child. That's why I got in with this lot."
Perhaps we should give them some food.
How many of them? How many are you?
Well,
We met 5 here.
There was just the 5, but I see that you knocked down Gandalf. So I don't know where Samwise and Frodo went off to, but apparently it's just me.
Oh,
and,
they ran away.
Oh, did they now?
Aye, they run off.
Well then, I guess it's just the 2 of us. But I see you've done a number on.
Merry Christmas.
You've done a number on Mr. Bill back there.
Yes, but he's not dead.
Oh
no, not dead yet.
If you'd like to join us,
Hey, we will ring this bell.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm gonna look at Stumblefoot's looking at Gheroth, kind of like, what?
They're slaves.
They're not real slaves.
They were slaves. They're trying to make their way in the world. With Waterdeep the way it is, they can't really be blamed for the choices that have been thrust upon them. But now we have an opportunity to give them a different chance in life.
Here, have some honey.
I set down one of my pots of honey.
That's mighty nice of you, Mr. Bugbear.
Oh, I'm not a bugbear. It's just that I'm actually a human.
And I look back at the others and give them a wink.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage. No, actually, this is a deception check. My bad.
2.
No, roll again. Deception.
It's still not going to be great. Deception is. I don't think it's going to be. Oh yeah, with deception, that would be a 1.
Oh well, he's just like
even
he'll
better.
tell you, he's like, right, a human. Well, that's very kind of you, Mr. Human.
Yes, that's right.
Well,
Are you slaves now, or have you escaped from your
Oh no,
your master?
No, we're no longer slaves. We're about as free as you can be, but you know, There's other things that aren't so free, like, food, shelter.
Right, and so finding honest work was not an option. Robbing people on the highway, that's the best option you've got.
Well, you've got no one telling you what to do now.
So you're saying you are your own deity?
Oh, deities, I don't got much use for them, because they don't got much use for me.
Well, you're choosing who lives and dies, who has and who doesn't.
No, I don't make that choice. We just simply allow people to make that choice for themselves. Give us the money and you can live. Don't and you might die. We don't make that choice for them.
So that's the way we should do it here.
My friends, I think the safest place for them would be with us. Who knows, but we may need an extra arm or two, an extra weapon or two to turn a battle. As you leave them here,
as you say that, the one you're talking to, the ropes fall off of him, and he begins to sprint towards the woods.
I don't think he wants to come with us.
Yes, he takes the honey.
Well,
I guess I should have checked that knot.
It's been nice talking with you. Bye-bye.
You do have the heavily concussed bandit who is babbling gibberish that Steve has.
I wave at him as he's going away.
Bye bye.
Is anyone gonna chase that one?
I waved at him.
Yes, I know that.
Oh, I see what you're trying
Honestly,
to do. Roll the D100, roll the D100. That's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, it's so much fun. It's an 80.
It's an 80.
Yeah.
This isn't exactly how it's written, but it's the way I'm going to do it. So as you wave to him, all of a sudden he blinks out, and he appears on the other side of the clearing where you're at and runs across it again.
But it keeps happening over and over.
Cool. No, he's not. He didn't cast blink. You teleported him. That's basically what happened.
There he is again.
That's similar to what happened to you. So does he have to run? Is he like running back towards us now then?
Yeah, because he was running in a straight line. He had no concept that he teleported. He had no way of...
Right.
Changed your mind.
He stops, he looks at you all confused. He's like, what devilry is this?
How far away from us is he?
Oh, he's probably standing like 7 feet in front of you guys. He's confused now.
Let this be a lesson.
Okay.
Change your ways. Ooh.
All right. Stumblefoot's gonna try and grab him, I guess.
I'm sure you had lots of stuff planned for us, and this was not it.
Let's just bring everybody with us. Everybody we meet.
It's a party, right?
I don't want to haul a whole group of people with us. Time is of the essence.
Stumblefoot,
if you're just gonna slow us down.
If you're gonna make a grab at him, you need to make that strength check, please.
Okay. Oh, I rolled poorly. That's gonna be an 8.
Yeah, he rolled a 17. So he Heisman trophies you with the honey in his other hand and runs the other direction.
Okay. Stumblefoot's gonna say, "Oh no, he's getting away."
So
I really don't think he wants to be with us.
You are left in the clearing with a heavily concussed bandit, and you can choose what you want to do.
Stumblefoot's going to cast Cure Wounds on the heavily concussed bandit. We'll heal him for 5 points.
All right. So yeah, he looks halfway to healthy again. He's just like, thanks.
Let's give him some food too.
Wait. Here's some food. Be nice to people. Be on your way. Remember, we let you leave with your life.
Right.
Well.
And he wanders off into the woods.
All right.
Let's go.
Let's go where we were going before. But to fix what was wrong, or something like that. Let's go shut the door. In
That
time.
does sound like a good plan.
Okay. So you guys proceed onward, and you don't have any more encounters for that day. It's about a 4-day, if I remember right, it was about a 4-day journey to Daggerford. So you guys have to make camp again. You're about halfway there. And you guys have to make camp. Are you guys going to do a watch order, or you guys just going to throw caution to the wind and everybody sleeps all at once?
I'll take the first thing.
Okay.
Okay, second.
I feel like things might be more safe if we just let Pough sleep.
That seems like a sound plan.
Wiser words have never been spoken.
Okay. I'm going to have all of you guys roll your perception checks all at once, see if anything happens during your watches, just to kind of speed this along, because I just got handed some information.
Natty 20.
Okay. Nothing happens during your watch. Nothing too exciting anyway.
15s for me and Aelin.
Okay. You guys see some indigenous wildlife walk by, but nothing that poses a threat to you guys as well. Basically, it's a non, for you guys, it's a non eventful night. Although Gheroth, when you fall asleep, you begin to dream, and a familiar four-legged creature steps out of the clearing in your dream. He goes, "Well, if it ain't my friend there, Gheroth, how you doing?"
Hello, Keeper.
So, I'm glad we're on a first name basis. Although I don't really know what you would call me with a second name, I suppose. So I imagine you're probably fairly confused at the moment.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll let you ask me a few questions. I'll see what I am able to clear up for you.
What is the situation with the needle in Pough's hand?
The needle in Pough's hand? Like, in what way do you mean?
When he does certain things, certain other things seem to happen.
Oh, you understand what that needle is, don't you?
Perhaps not fully.
Well, you know where you got it from, right?
Yes.
The loom of time?
Yes.
Yeah, that needle weaves the fabric of reality. So, I mean, if you're just going to wave it around all willy-nilly, I mean, it's going to affect the reality that you're weaving in. You understand what I'm saying?
I think so, yes. Is there a way for us to ameliorate the effects?
Well, I mean, not really. You just kind of change it. It's an instrument to change reality. So, I mean, it's kind of those it is what it is sorts of situation. I mean, granted, you could probably do it with the needle, but, you know, unless you know what you're doing with it, it could almost be anything.
Right, but could we somehow keep it in stasis or bind his arm to his body so it doesn't accidentally do the things that they're doing?
Well, I mean, if you want to bind his arm to his body, I mean, you got rope, don't you?
But would that work?
Well, I mean, if he's not waving around all silly-like. I mean, here, I thought you'd ask me something a little bit deeper than just about the needle, but I mean, if that's the only thing you got questions about.
How is my father's empire doing?
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. That's not affected by this.
I know that, but I've been away for 2 years, yet I haven't had any conversation with them.
I suppose so. But you're doing kind of a big thing at the moment. I'll tell you this much. What you're doing right now is very necessary. There was a. Do you remember that girl that I introduced y'all to? I think her name was Hojo.
Yes, the one that was surrounded by some sort of a field.
Yeah, that's the one. You gotta understand, when I sent y'all over there was a lot of, we'll call them laws at play. Her daddy had broke some of them laws, and well, I'll just put it this way: y'all are under the law. I mean, that's just, the law was set down a long time ago, and if that law is broken, there's consequences to that. Now, you can't get away from payment due for breaking the law, but you can affect what is called a transferal, if that makes sense.
It does.
And so when that little girl won the contest, that affected the transferal. Now, I am not bound by anything except for myself. However, if I set law down, if that this is going to get kind of complex, then that creates a certain fate, and I believe you met the fates. Now, that is who the debt is to, is those fates. And if fate wills a certain person's cord to be cut, well, the cord's cut. I can't do much about that. So something's going to happen, and there's not much I can do about that. So,
would there be a way to have someone take the blame for that instead of the person who actually did it? Someone to stand in as a ransom?
I see what you're doing there, Mr. Gheroth. It's very clever. I know that you got your hands on the book. What I can say is someone is going to take that blame. But, I just can't tell you who. Now, do y'all self a favor. Make the most sense of this, of what you can, and try to explain it to your party, because I'm not doing this for everybody. So, and with that, you wake up.
All right.
And it is morning time. Erwin wakes up, and it is another bright, shiny day.
What a beautiful morning it is outside today. I slept wonderfully. I've got all the winks.
Are you a morning bugbear, Pough?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm particularly sad today, but
I see what you did there.
I do enjoy this time of day. Yes. The birds and the bees and honey. I believe I have a smackerel left.
Can you do me a favor and do it over there?
I'll do my smack roll over there.
Thank you.
Okay.
Aelin, remember.
Do you not like honey?
We let him sleep. He's dangerous.
I don't like smackerelin this early in the morning.
A little bit of ASMR for everybody out there.
That's nice.
Yeah. Who doesn't love mouth noises?
All right. So, are you guys going to be on your way then, or
we're on our way? We're already on our way.
Well, as we're traveling, I would let people know about my dream.
All right. So he cues you in with his encounter with the keeper.
You know what I would have asked the keeper? I would have said, Keeper, put us back where we were before. That's what I would have said.
I don't think that was his mission this time.
Well, the next time you see him, ask if we can go back. That would solve so much.
Maybe he cannot do that.
Well, he did it to us the first time. He put us forward. So I would think
maybe he put you back as close as he possibly could.
He said something about that. But I don't believe him. He has shifty eyes.
All right. So as you guys are walking through these woods, you see a familiar 2 lines of smoldering ground going through the woods.
Smoldering ground.
Correct. If you remember the carriage ride from Daggerford to Waterdeep.
Yes. Oh, I vividly remember that.
Does it look like it was going about 88 miles per hour?
No. But it reminds you of a terrible fantasy movie from the 80s that had a five-sided blade in it.
Ooh.
These tracks look familiar, like that, oh, what was that fellow's name? The small guy.
Are you talking about our taxi service?
Oh, yes, that's it.
Orbog, you were not there. You were taking a nap.
True story. Pough, go ahead and make a perception check, please.
Sure. It's a 15 plus something.
Quite a ways in the distance, you do see the carriage just kind of sitting there with the horses strapped to it and a little gnome just kind of bouncing around.
Hey, look, that's the fellow there. Hello there, Jethro. Jethro, that's just what I'm going to throw out there.
I can't remember what I had named him either. For the super fans out there, I am so sorry. I forgot the dude's name.
We'll fix it in post.
No, we won't. We'll call him Milo. Milo goes,
who are you talking to?
Oh, I was talking to you, sir.
Well, my name is Milo. So
that's what I said.
No, I distinctly heard you say Jethro.
That was a 3 on deception.
Yeah, he's unconvinced.
Oh, Jethro, yes. I was thinking of your cousin.
I don't have a cousin.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Was there something I could do for you, or did you just want to say hi while I was out here picking these mushrooms?
Oh, no, I was just saying that I remember that we rode in your carriage once. And
yeah.
We find ourselves in need of a fast transportation. All right, guys?
That would be more pleasant.
Aye, that's true.
We're trying to get to Waterdeep, correct?
Oh, going back to that hellhole. All right.
We're trying to make it less hellholish.
Well then,
Oh, are we in Daggerford?
No, you're out in the woods. This is a chance happening. I'm pulling some Deus Ex Machina for you, Eric.
Awesome. Right. Well, I mean, if you could get us to Daggerford, we probably could secure passage from Daggerford back up to Waterdeep ourselves.
You would just be asking me for transport back to Waterdeep anyway. So, yeah, I could probably do it from here. How much? Let's see here. Carry the 6. 75 gold. Does that? Can you swing that?
Oh yes, Orbog has lots of gold.
Fine.
Are you gonna foot the bill? Are you gonna foot the bill, Orbog?
If I have enough.
I have a ton of gold, like a ton of gold.
Yeah, we'd let him take a ton.
I have like 900 gold pieces right now.
You're so stingy.
I mean, if he's asking me to, then I'll pay it.
Actually, oh look. Yes, I think I have plenty.
Well, okay. Whoever's paying me, pay me, and then I'll get you on your way.
I'll pay. 75 gold.
All right, so you guys shuffle into this carriage, and with the 5 of you, it's getting a little cramped in there. But you managed to pile
2
in.
of us aren't very big, though.
This is true.
3 of us
are very big.
You're just unnaturally short, though, Orbog. So I mean, that was just how you rolled out. So
just short and wide.
Yeah. So the carriage starts to pick up speed. It is kind of a nauseating feeling going from 0 to ludicrous speed, and
up to 50.
It's a little bit nauseating. So I'd like y'all to give me a Constitution save for all y'all. Oof. Oh no!
Apparently,
I'm gonna walk.
That's 17.
I rolled an 8.
Oh, okay.
I also rolled well with a 7.
Oof. So the only person who rolled well was Pough. All right, Pough. So everybody, this is all from Pough's perspective now.
It's a Barforama.
You're sitting in the back, and all of a sudden you watch as the facial expressions on everybody in your party in the back of this hyperspeed wagon starts to turn a bit sour on them.
What's going on?
And as you say that, you are in the middle of the biggest puke party that you have ever seen in your life.
I'm like,
oh dear. Oh, they're leaking. They're leaking.
They're leaking.
Wow. Are there windows at least that we could?
Yeah, there's windows. I mean, that's it's kind of watching everything go hyperspace by you. It's a sense of it's a motion sickness that you guys have presently. So, but within an hour, you pull up at the
longest hour of our lives.
I try to clean it all up.
That's a lot of
my
stomach acid on the floor.
I try to clean it all up with my needle. No, I don't do that.
Yeah.
You got all the information about what the keeper told me about the needle. So I'm hoping that you're, at least trying to keep a handle on that, and so we don't have to like bind it to your body.
Because I am a bear of very, very many brains.
Yes.
But yeah, you're just smearing it around is all you're doing, Pough. So it's like trying to wipe it up with wax paper, basically. But you guys get to the outskirts of Waterdeep, and Milo comes back and opens the door, and he gets pushed downstream as he opens the door, and he's like,
"Oh my gods, what happened in here?"
You happened.
He said he wanted fast,
and so he kind of waves his hand.
I didn't think we were prepared for the rapid acceleration.
So he waves his hands around and casts prestidigitation, and y'all, everything gets cleaned up. But he's like, ugh.
He's like, fortunately, that we have to learn that before we become drivers for the service, because that happens more often than you think it does.
I have no idea why.
I feel like you underestimate how often I think that happens.
But as again,
if it happens as often as if it happens that often, why were you surprised when you opened the door?
I just wasn't expecting a river. Ugh. But anyway, as per usual, I can't drop you off inside Waterdeep because I'd like to be able to leave it. So here you go. Not sure how you got out the first time, but hopefully you're able to do it again at some point. Toodaloo!
And he takes off with his horses.
Oh, wow. Toodaloo! Bye bye. Good to see you again.
Don't wave.
It was Milo.
Oh, Otis. No.
No, Milo.
Milo. Yes, good to see you, Milo.
Yeah, Milo. Aye. Right.
Well,
let's get back into the city.
Dog.
What time of? It's probably what time?
Let's see here. It was morning when you guys woke up.
And then we walked for a little bit.
You walked for a little bit, not for very long. So it's probably still morning time.
Oh, good.
Probably about 10 in the morning about.
So, as I recall, our plan was to go to the tower and shut the door with this.
DM, would I know a way for us to get into the city inconspicuously, especially with the fact that Pough has a giant needle attached to his hand, which we happen to know is something the bad guys are looking for?
I will say that when the powers that be took over Waterdeep, after they eliminated the masked lords, they also eradicated the thieves, the local thieves guild.
Sure.
So you guys have been utilizing their underground tunnel system, a la Assassin's Creed. So yes, you are familiar with how to get around unseen.
Then I'm going to look at everyone and I'm going to say, I know a way we can get into the city unnoticed. Follow me.
He's taking you underground in a game where the DM's been threatening to throw rocks at you. Just saying.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm ready.
What could be worse than the carriage ride?
Yeah.
All right. So you head underground through the tunnel system. Where are you going, Stumblefoot?
I'm going to go back to the yawning portal.
Okay. So he leads you,
since that is my headquarters. I've been away for close to a week now. I need to check back in, make sure everything's still okay, and then, I think maybe we should powwow there and put together a plan of attack, because the resistance might be able to help, in our own way.
I just had the dumbest idea, but I'm going to do it.
Not again.
So
you should have a quota of dumb ideas per gaming session that you can't go over.
What?
I agree.
You're the one saying that?
All right, that's it. See you guys later. Y'all mean.
Somebody give Steve some aloe. That burnt me on. All right. So you get back to you guys follow Stumblefoot through these underground tunnels, and you emerge in the office area at the yawning portal. And Durnan's there, and
who wants to threaten the barkeeper again? Anyone?
No, don't threaten Durnan. He's a nice man.
That's one way to put it.
And he's like, you're back.
You got some Pepto?
Hey, we're back. We made it.
Well, we have some problems.
That's so unexpected.
Of course we do.
I'm shocked. This is my shocked face.
We got news that Christopher has sent for Damien to lead some reinforcements over the Cloud Peaks.
Okay.
We need to send some of our troops to shut down the pass through the Cloud Peaks.
Wait! You're saying Christopher is in charge of Damien?
No, he asked for reinforcements.
Oh,
we intercepted.
Cloud Peaks. That's a ways to the south.
Wait, I was looking at the wrong part of the map. I'm trying to find some mountains that are within the vicinity.
You've been hitting the air a bit early today.
The Sword Mountains. Yep.
Those are a mite closer.
I'm sorry, I said that wrong. They're coming through the Sword Mountains.
Oh, well, that would make more sense.
And the problem is that we called all our people in the city for the fight. So we no longer hold the kitchen pass for the Sword Mountains.
The kitchen pass.
Kitchen pass.
Oh.
For the Sword Mountains.
That's right. Hey.
Is this an inside joke?
It is.
Perhaps we should go outside, and then maybe you can tell it again.
I don't think that would change the joke, Kenny.
Here's what I'm thinking. We need to split our forces. We need to leave a group of folks here who can create a diversion so that Gheroth and his friends can get to this door in the tower and close it with the needle we recovered. I can take everyone else up to the Sword Mountains and deal with Damien and his troublemakers.
I know how to create a diversion. Orbog, let me punch you. No.
Pooh, leave the... we don't need you to create the diversion this time. You've got the needle, so you've already got your job, right? Yeah, you're not on diversion duty.
Oh, good. Because I wasn't going to do that. Because I've matured. I've grown up. I know that punching people is not always the answer.
Not always.
Just sometimes.
It's good you've learned that lesson.
The last person I punched got arrested and thrown into prison for a long time.
So anyway,
perhaps this might be where we part ways.
Wait, you're leaving us?
Well, I just learned from Dernan that I've got a group of folks that I need to lead up to the Sword Mountains.
I thought it was the Cloud correct. Mountains.
No, it's the Sword Mountains. We've lost we've lost Kitchen Pass up there.
A Kitchen Pass.
Kitchen Pass.
I still don't know what that means. But
well, you know what a pass is through the mountains, right?
Yes.
Well, it's Kitchen Pass.
Oh, there's a restaurant?
No, it's the name of the pass.
Is it because of the quarantine?
What? What quarantine?
Well, this whole city's quarantined. We're not allowed to leave.
That's so exciting.
We came back.
Nope.
Well, let's get back on a topic. You're leaving us?
Unfortunately, I am leaving. I've got a job to do, and that's to lead this here resistance against Damien. That's my lot in life at the moment.
Well, Stumblefoot, you have been a valuable member to our party, and I thank you for your wise words earlier and for fighting alongside us.
I was happy to do it. A friend of Gheroth is a friend of mine.
Yes, thank you for being the boon companion that I knew you would be.
It was my pleasure, and it was good to be at your side again, Gheroth. I truly missed you.
And I hope that we will fight again, or at least meet again, side by side. Either here or...
I hope the same thing. Sorry.
All right, guys, let's just go.
All right.
Jernan, do you think I'd like to leave behind 5 folks to create some sort of diversion? You know, the standard thing. Do you think you can get that pulled off?
The standard thing?
Aye, the standard thing.
Eric, I don't want to kill your character for putting me on the spot. Don't give me a reason.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean, Darren. Just make some noise, draw attention away from the tower. Start a fire, whatever needs to be done. Make a tussle.
Oh, you mean
the standard thing?
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
A diversion, right? Aye.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have several standard things, so I mean, but yeah, we can definitely do that.
Sure. Talk it over with the group here, figure it out, and I'll muster the troops and start heading out towards the Sword Mountains. We've got probably a day or two's march.
Gotta get past the kitchen.
The kitchen.
We've got to seal up Kitchen Pass.
Yes, we totally know what you're thinking about.
Is it a Kentucky Fried Kitchen?
To be continued.
No. I don't know what that means.
What's this Kentucky that you're talking about?
Kentucky Fried Chicken, Kentucky Fried Kitchen, Colonel.
Yeah, that doesn't really work, Steve. Try again.
I'm gonna be sore in the morning from reaching for all those jokes.
The brain's the first thing to go.
I'm just telling you, Steve. At least my dumb ideas were kind of funny.
No.
All right, so this is going to be a stopping point for us this evening. As our listeners may know, this is going to be a wrap on Stumblefoot for the time being. Eric will be leaving our community for the foreseeable future. So, Eric, thank you for showing up. It's been a pleasure having you
having me on the show. Thank you for having me. This is a blast.
And anytime you want to or are able to come back, you are always welcome. So
we'll do a reunion show where we have like all of the guests on. You have to DM 20 people at the same time.
So, or if maybe for a special, if Eric comes back for one. If Eric is able to come back for one episode, I might give you the pleasure of experiencing him as a DM and letting him DM a one shot, and then I would be able to jump in as a player.
Oh,
that'd be cool.
Well, there's an idea.
Yeah.
So we can call it Playing Games with Strangers, the TPK episode.
No, but you guys would find out what it looks like when John's character dies because Eric likes to kill my characters in our other games.
Well, if someone's going to die,
I've only killed you twice.
Yeah, out of 3 characters I've had with you, you've only killed me twice. So anyway, for everybody else that's listening out there, I want to thank you for tuning in. Please like us be our friend on Facebook, like and subscribe to the podcast, as well as giving a review. That really helps us with chart positioning and puts us out there to people who are interested in D&D actual play podcasts that doesn't necessarily have a social agenda, that just wants to play some D&D. So with that, thanks for listening. Anybody got anything else to say?
I apologize for all the stupid jokes.
No, Steve. Never apologize for being you.
It's part of the charm.
That adds
part of the charm of the show.
That adds the Steve flavor to this podcast, and quite frankly, I would not want to be a part of this if it weren't for the Steve flavor. I've said it on Facebook before. I'll say it again. I want to be like Steve when I grow up.
Yeah.
Wait,
when you grow up.
Steve said jokes tonight?
All right.
So savage, bro. Well, and on that note of brotherly love,
friends are friends forever.
Thanks for listening. And
the friend will not say never.
Everyone join hands, a sway.
I'm going to shut this down before this gets ridiculous. Have a good night, folks, and we'll see you next time.